Planet 9. Nibiru, brown dwarf, Planet X. News of this mysterious body in our solar eclipse has been circulating around the world, around the media, and even till now, some people still don't believe because it's like the news has been suppressed and it hasn't really been available for public. And not long ago, NASA announced publicly hoping for neighbors or people to help them find the ninth planet. It is believed, and so many people have also dedicated their lives trying to find out the truth about this planet X Nibiru. Some researchers go back in time to read documents that were written about this planet, and surprisingly, this news is indirectly being portrayed. It's being broadcasted, but not usually through the mainstream, which has led some people to be doubtful about the news. Now, what I'm going to share with you today is from an Australian national university. They invited volunteers to help astronomers track down the fabled ninth planet. Day in, day out, there are news circulating again about the impact of this planet X Nibiru. There are news all over about pole shifts, about droughts, tornadoes, so many effects that this planet X Nibiru is causing because it has come quite closer to our solar system. So again, just as NASA made this announcement, and it has not been only NASA, like I said, this Australian university also gave chance to astronomers and neighbors that could give a handful of the search of the planet X Nibiru. Now, within days, thousands of people from around the world were given access to images taken by the Sky Mapper telescope at the Siding Spring Observatory. Now, what they had to do was examine and analyze over 4 million space objects, and 4 possible candidates for Planet 9 emerged. So, the moment they were able to come up with these 4 possible objects, one of them could be the Planet X, the team of astronomers they are being studied, and a little is known about them as at this moment that this video was made. The team of astronomers will now have to confirm whether any of the objects are in fact Planet 9 or not. Now, there was an interview which was held with Dr. Brad Tucker on Radio Sputnik, the research fellow at the Research School of Astronomy and Astrophysics, Mount Stromlo Observatory at the Australian National University, who explained the significance of this research. Now, there are so many evidence that are circulating about this planet X, and again, considering how Neptune was discovered, it was following a strange orbit slightly off Uranus, and that is how come Neptune was discovered, and it's more like this same way is being used to discover the planet X Nibiru. So now we will listen to Dr. Tucker talking about why Planet X has been discovered, or why he thinks Planet 9 exists.
Planet 9 is a way to solve the dwarf planet, so Pluto and the objects like Pluto, on the edge of our solar system, in that in order to explain their strange orbits, a large, massive object on the outside through gravity would explain this. So that's why we think Planet 9 exists.
So essentially, we're trying to prove a negative here by looking at the way that other things are orbiting. We're trying to say, hey, look, it's not an elliptical orbit, and that's what could explain this?
Yeah, pretty much. And in fact, this is exactly how Neptune was discovered. That in the strange orbit slightly of Uranus, a French mathematician said if you put an object here, Neptune, it would explain Uranus's orbit. And then sure enough, a year later, William Herschel went out and discovered Neptune. So we use the mass to point us where we should look in physics and astronomy.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about the public campaign in your planetary search.
So when the predictions came out by Mike Brown and Konstantin Bajin in 2016, they showed that if there's this object, this planet, it would be in this what we call parameter space. It'd be this position of the sky, roughly, this brightness, moving in this speed. And modern day astronomy has been revolutionized by lots of telescopes completely imaging or mapping the entire sky. So you can look for these changes. But the problem is it's never been done on the southern hemisphere. So we're pretty sure this planet isn't visible from the northern hemisphere currently, or it's really, really faint. But it's more likely to be in the southern hemisphere and more likely to be towards where the galaxy is. And so we said, hey, we've had this survey telescope. We've taken images of this entire patch of sky. And instead of writing complicated computer programs to try and search for, why don't we have the public help us? Why don't we have the public work with us? Because humans are good at spotting differences in images.
So essentially, it's a crowd surfing type research then.
Yeah, exactly. And part of it is why not have people join in the discovery and get a taste of what we're doing in science? That we have a hypothesis, we test it, and then we inform that hypothesis depending on what we know or not. That is what we do in science. And at the same time, people are very passionate about whether Pluto should be a planet or not. I, for one, say yes, but that's not everyone. And we can invite people into this discussion to see that if this planet exists, it would explain why Pluto isn't really a planet because it doesn't control its own orbit. So not only can they be part of the discovery, but they can understand some fundamental things about our solar system and the universe themselves, all while making cool discoveries.
But, the thing is that what could an average person, I'm just an average guy, what could I possibly do that differently than you, which is, you're a doctor, you're an astrophysicist, right? So how trustworthy would my analysis be?
So that's a great question. And really, all we're trying to do is we set up all of the images in such a way that when you look at an image, we ask the question, do you see colored dots? And that is because each image each patch of sky has been looked at 3 different times, so at different times over a couple weeks. And if there's an object that's moved, it would leave a red dot, a green dot, and a blue dot, whereas the stars and objects that don't move appear white. And so really we're just asking for someone to say, hey, do you see something different? And then if you say, hey, yeah, there's these colored dots in this image, then we can pay more attention to that because we're looking through about 250,000 images. And that's a lot of work. So we don't want to just completely randomly pick up images to see if there's something there. But if people can tell us, hey, focus on this image, well, that makes our work a lot easier and we can put our resources, our extra telescopes and our extra power into the images that are more likely to have something than not. So it's helping us vet. It's helping us reduce the work.
I fear that you have 4 possible candidates for Planet 9.
So I would say we have 4 unknown objects. And what I mean is that they are objects that move. So they're not a star, they're not a galaxy. They could be an asteroid, they could be a comet, they could be a dwarf planet, they could be Planet 9.
Could it be aliens?
4 objects that move. Too slow for aliens. So they move across the sky and they are not known. So no one has previously seen these objects. So whatever they turn out to be, we will have discovered 4 new things right away. One is moving pretty fast, so it's likely to be an asteroid, but the other 3 move slowly, as we expect Planet 9 or other dwarf planets to move. So right now we're trying to follow it up. We're trying to re-find it. So the 3 images we had were from last year, so we're trying to find it where it is now, and then that will tell us an orbit and the trajectory and a distance, and then we can start figuring out what they are.
All right, so people out there, now that you have heard the news, it is going over and on and on and on. And even some people start to mock that Planet X is only on YouTube. But I assure you, if you follow closely, and if you keep watching, and if you keep investigating yourself, then you are going to know that it is truly there. It has already been discovered, but just that the information has been covered up and it's trying to turn people's mind, making us believe there is a mystery planet out there. But hey, this is true. You just need to open up your eyes and believe what we are telling you. If there is any preparation you need to make, you need to get started. And for those of you who haven't given your life to Jesus Christ, this is the time. Because Planet X, Planet 9, evidence and everything proves that it is the end and the doom of humanity. So you better change your ways before you be left out, before you be doomed. Planet X Nibiru is real. So this is what we have for you today, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like. You should try and share videos like this so that people out there who do not know can also find out, and they can also hear the news. I have included their source link in the description so that you will know that this was not something made up, but there is a true reference for that which I didn't write. Thanks for watching, and you all have a lovely day. Planet 9, Planet 9, Planet 9. Nibiru, Brown Dwarf, Planet X. News of this mysterious body in our solar eclipse has been circulating around the world, around the media, and even till now some people still don't believe, because it's like the news has been suppressed and it hasn't really been available for public. And not long ago, NASA announced publicly, hoping for neighbors or people to help them find the ninth planet. It is believed, and so many people have also dedicated their lives trying to find out the truth about this Planet X Nibiru. Some researchers go back in time to read documents that were written about this planet, and surprisingly, this news is indirectly being portrayed. It's being broadcasted, but not usually through the mainstream, which has